This segment of Peter Greenberg Worldwide is proudly brought to you by
MedJet Assist. If you're injured or hospitalized while traveling, MedJet Assist will arrange medical transportation directly to the hospital of your choice. Travel safely and be smart. Get MedJet Assist. Take trips, not chances.
Now back to Peter Greenberg.
18 minutes after the hour, Peter Greenberg here with you from the Grand Hyatt Con Martinez in France. Taking your calls at 888-887-3837. That's 888-88-PETER. And if you can't get through on the phones, you know the drill. You email me to peter@petergreenberg.com with your name, phone number, question, or problem. We'll solve it right here on the air. We're going to do that a little bit later in the show. I always do this at this hour. I encourage you to go to our website, petergreenberg.com, for our comprehensive list of all the aid and relief organizations doing all that essential work all around the world. And you know what? They need your help now, especially in the Philippines. Over 5,200 people killed. And some great organizations down there. I'm proud to be part of one of them called OpUSA. That's Operation USA. Check their website out at opusa.org. We've already got people on the ground. United Airlines has given us hundreds of thousands of pounds of cargo space, people and tickets to get down there and on the ground where people need it the most. But the work is just getting started. It's nowhere near finished. We're talking years of rebuilding, no different than what happened in Haiti when you think about it. They had an earthquake, but the Philippines had a typhoon. So please look at that website, see all the different opportunities you have, other than just writing a check, which of course would always be gladly appreciated, to get up there and up close and personal and help in any way you can. And when you get down there, please let us know. Write me, peter@petergreenberg.com, so I can let people know about your experience doing something that was so vitally needed at such a crucial time. Joining me now is someone who's been on our show before. And if you think I fly a lot, and I do, I've got about 22 million air miles. But before I boast, let me introduce you to Lee Abbamonte, who holds the title of the youngest American to visit every single country in the world. All right, fine, be that way. That's what, 307 total countries?
310, actually.
Excuse me, but who's counting? Show off. And here you are in Cannes.
Yep.
But you've been here before.
Yeah, this is probably my 5th time in Cannes, actually, but it's actually my first time here at ILTM and also my first time here in the winter.
Oh, does that qualify as the 311th country then?
Sadly, no.
Okay,
but maybe.
I get a little crazed with the actual count, because if you go to the United Nations, they'll tell you there are 199 countries.
193.
Will you stop?
Sorry.
But that number keeps changing. It keeps changing, right?
Yep.
So how do you go from 193 countries to you saying you visited 300 and what?
310 of the 321 from the Traveler Century Club, which I know you're a part of as well.
I am. But we have two different numbers here. So the number for the United Nations are just members of the UN?
Correct. It's sovereign nations, so UN member states, and then the Traveler Century Club takes into account territories. Right. So, for instance, the one I always use as an example is like French Guiana is not the same as going to France, or French Polynesia or Martinique or something like that. So they all count separately as separate territories or countries, for lack of a better word. So it's a more comprehensive list than just the UN.
All right. So is there one you haven't been to yet?
On the Traveler Century Club,
Yeah.
There's a few. There's a couple regions in Antarctica, Ascension, St. Helena.
And by the way, how many different
Ascension?
Ascension Islands are there? There's more than one.
I've only been to, I'm only going to one in March.
But I'm saying there is more than one Ascension Island.
Where's
There's
the
more
other?
than one Christmas Island.
I've been to both Christmas Islands. Where's the other Ascension Island?
I'm not going to tell you. How about that, Mr. Show-Off?
I don't know that one.
I know. But listen, there's more than one Christmas Island. There's more than one Paris, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a Cairo in northern New York, you know?
And there's a Paris in
Texas.
Texas.
There's a Peru as well.
That's right. That's right. So, okay, but you did go to Antarctica.
Yeah, I just got back from Antarctica, actually. I flew there from Cape Town with a company called White Desert.
Because normally if you're going to go to Antarctica, you go from Christchurch on one of the National Science Foundation planes, but you went from Cape Town.
Yeah, you can fly there from Christchurch. You can fly from Cape Town. You can fly also from South America, either from Punta Arenas or Ushuaia. But from Cape Town, you fly on something called the Ilyushin 76, which is a Russian cargo plane, basically.
That's a big one.
It's big.
That's
yeah.
big.
They only have about 70 seats total. But half the or 3/4 of the plane, I should say, is cargo. They actually have porta potties on board too, 2 of them.
But here's the thing: if you're flying to Antarctica on that plane, are they landing on skis?
No, they land on ice. They have like extra wheels. I could show you a picture. It's kind of amazing. They have something like 18 wheels. It's really incredible. So you land on like I think it's a 3,000 meter blue ice runway. It's pretty wild. And also,
and they don't skid?
They skid, but they have enough room to stop.
So you're careening
cool.
in.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of scary, but also cool at the same time, especially if you're not used to flying on cargo planes.
Well, it's not the cargo plane, it's the landing. My God.
It's interesting.
Because a lot of those planes are equipped with what they call ramjets to give them extra thrust on takeoff. I'm assuming these guys had the ramjets on there because taking off is much more difficult than landing.
Yeah, it's a long start until they actually get up into the air, and you have to get going pretty fast. And then some of the other planes they have down there, the DC-3s and the Twin Otters, they actually take off and land on skis. It's pretty wild, and sometimes they just invent places to land. Like when we flew out to see the emperor penguins, they had nowhere to land. They had to locate the colony of emperor penguins and then basically just circle around about 20 feet off the ground and look for like a safe place to land that wasn't like a crevasse or something like that.
Yeah, because you missed that one.
You're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long were you down there?
10 days.
And what did you do for 10 days?
Well, for the first...
For type A's like me, I mean, watch out.
Well, for the first couple of days, we were pretty much snowed in and like 40 below temperatures.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah. That wasn't the best time in the world, but it's really cold, as you might imagine. But you prepare for that, and you bring a lot of warm weather gear. We did a lot of hiking, did some ice caving, ice climbing. We also flew out to see the emperor penguins, which is about 5 hours from Novolazarevskaya camp. And
but you did not get to the South Pole?
This is correct. I was actually on the same plane with Prince Harry of England, and
did you talk to him?
Yeah, sure. And they were doing something called Walking with the Wounded, which is like a charity event there in England. They fly to the 87th degree from where we were, but they were snowed in as well, so they couldn't fly. And what ended up happening was, since they had such a large group of about 35 people or whatever it was, and the DC-3 can actually only have a capacity of about 12 people, they got priority over us, even though, I and the rest of the group had been planning this trip for over a year.
Hey, here's the news bulletin. You're not royalty, pal.
Yeah, that's the problem I learned. And anyway, so they got the plane for 3 days in a row and actually cost us from getting to the South Pole. But Harry himself was super nice. I mean, he was very polite. He wished me luck in getting to the pole, and it wasn't like he did it intentionally.
I love it. He was super nice. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. I was like, thanks, man.
That was it?
Yeah, more or less. But, it took some happiness in the fact that he had to go to the bathroom and a porta potty just like everybody else.
You just figured that out?
Hey. I don't meet royalty that often.
No, but guess what? They still have to put their pants on the same way.
This is true.
It's the bottom line. All right, so you haven't been to, again?
Ascension Island, Tristan da Cunha, St. Helena, and then the only other two are Wake Island in the British Indian Ocean territory of like Diego Garcia, the Chagos archipelago.
Well, Diego Garcia is interesting because it's not pretty. It's just a military drop.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Really? How'd you get there?
On a Mac flight. We actually did a story years ago on, at that time it was considered quite new, an all-female flight crew with the Air Force that flew the C-141s.
Out of where?
Out of March Air Force Base, then up north to, I'll think of it in a second, Northern California. Then from there we flew to Yokota Air Force Base in Japan.
Yeah.
From Yokota to Guam, and then from Guam, Diego Garcia. And that was wild. And then when you're there, you land at Diego Garcia. All it is a staging place at the big storage depot for all the U.S. Navy and all military facilities to supply the fleet.
Yeah, I imagine it to be something like Kwajalein over there in the Pacific as well, which I've been to. And I don't know, I'm actually working with a contact there right now to get there this year. I'd like to finish the Traveler Century Club in 2014, so hoping to get there. And Wake Island as well.
Kwajalein's interesting because you go through all of Micronesia out there. It's wild. The best flights are the ones that hop from Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's Kwajalein, Johnston. They don't do Bikini anymore, but they do Kwajalein, Johnston, and then of course it's Yap, Truk, Palau. And then all throughout there.
In Majuro, yeah.
Yeah, Majuro, of course. Yeah. When I first went there, now I'm dating myself, but when I first landed in Truk, there were still 3 Japanese Zeros on the runway that were left over from World War II.
Very cool. That's a really interesting place. I don't know if it's called Truk or Shuk or Chuk or whatever, but it's a great spot, and it's great for underwater diving. Some of the best wreck
Truk
dives.
Lagoon, my God.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
I went snorkeling in Palau, and near Koror, which is like the former headquarters of the Japanese fleet. And you almost lose it because the water is so clear. You lose the sight. You lose all perspective of depth. and you're snorkeling and you're looking down and you're seeing a sunken destroyer with a car still on the deck. It's like you could reach down, and then you look down and you see all these unexploded depth charges. Bye-bye, but there they are.
Yeah, the World War II wreck dives over in, for me, there's no better diving or snorkeling in the world than, like you said, in Palau, and also Yap, which is, obviously the Micronesian island in Papua New Guinea. Those places are just amazing.
Amazing. Well, you're pretty amazing, too. The youngest American to visit every country in the world, Lee Abbamonte. Thank you for joining us. Oh, wait a minute. Prince Harry just called and said, good luck. He just wanted you to know that.
I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
We'll be back with more of Peter Greenberg Worldwide from the Grand Hyatt Con Martinez right after this.
To participate in the program and speak with Peter Greenberg, call 1-888-887-3837 or visit petergreenberg.com.
I'm Jim Furyk, 16-time PGA Tour winner. Whether I'm on tour or vacationing with my family, I make sure MedJet is there with me. It's priceless peace of mind. MedJet keeps me in the game.
As a MedJet member, if you're hospitalized more than 150 miles from home, your membership includes medical transfer to the hospital of your choice. With membership starting at $99, you don't have to be a tour pro to travel like one. Visit MedJetRadio.com to get your membership today.
Honey, you know that flight we were supposed to fly out on tomorrow? It's been canceled because of the weather.
This was supposed to be our dream vacation. How did we end up here in the emergency room?
Where's my luggage? The carousel is empty.
Got a travel insurance plan? If you do, you can be covered for trip cancellation due to a covered reason, medical expenses, lost luggage, and more. Cover yourself today. Call your travel agent or visit TravelGuard.com.
Coverage provided by Travel Guard Group, Inc., a licensed insurance producer. Coverage will be limited by the terms and conditions of the policy and may not be available in all states. Insurance underwritten by National Union Fire Insurance Company of Pittsburgh, PA.